On the eve of another big Anzac Day clash, we are here to ask the burning question: who is closer to a flag, the Magpies or the Bombers? Mitch Cleary is here, as is Cal Twomey. Cal, you're normally in the middle chair, but today you really want an argument.
Oh, well, I think the real story here is that you just demanded your hosting seat back. But look, I'm happy to be here for this one, Tomo, because I think it's a pretty clear-cut argument. The Bombers, for me, are well and truly ahead of the Pies in terms of who's closer to a flag. And I'll tell you why. The main reason is these bookends that they've got. They've got all-Australian players at both ends of the ground. We see Michael Hurley here, a two-time all-Australian defender, but he can play forward if he actually had to. And then they've got Joe Danaher, an all-Australian last year, 65 goals. Then you just throw in Cale Hooker, boys, who kicked 41 goals last year. So he combined with Joe Danaher to kick more than 100 together last year. Now he's playing in defence, where he probably belongs. I don't think the Pies have anything like this sort of depth at either end of the ground, Mitch. I think they're well and truly ahead of the Bombers.
Mitch, I'm tipping you disagree, considering as well you're the defending champion here on Burning Question.
Well, I took that to the cleaners last time when Cal was here, but you can have the best bookends in the competition, but you've got to get it to them. You can't look past Brodie Grundy. If there was a game tomorrow, there is Anzac Day, years down the track as well, he would take Tom Bell-Chambers, Matt Leuenberger to the cleaners. He's 24 years of age, the type of player you can build a premiership assault around. He's as good as Dean Cox, and he could be the best ruckman of our generation. He's only 24, and he's already doing this. And did you see what he did last week?
He's not Simon Madden, mate.
Oh, he can do exactly this. Is the goal we're talking about against Adelaide last week. He rucks, his second efforts are there, and he's just going to feed it to one of the best midfielders in the competition.
You're saying that's basically, so Essendon's got these three big tools and Collins got one.
Darcy Moore goes all right as well.
He goes okay at the moment, yet to prove himself.
We'll get to another point shortly, because Darcy Moore will get even better when they get another arrival very soon.
He's basing his premiership tilt around the ruckman there.
Any other Bombers you're bullish about?
Well, a lot of the younger ones, and that's the point. You mentioned that Brodie Grundy's 24, Mitch. Well, look at all these Bombers who are under, or 24 or under. Joe Danaher, an All-Australian. Zach Merritt, an All-Australian. Andrew McGrath, well, he will be an All-Australian. Darcy Parish, Orazio Fantasia's a gun. Devon Smith's come in and gone beautifully. Jake Stringer's an All-Australian too. There's three in there. Connor McKenna, Adam Sard off half-back. There's 9 players in Essendon starting 18 who are 24 and under. And they're a core group who can be there for the next 5 years.
Jake Stringer's already peaked.
Already peaked? Well, he went all right last week. 4 goals against the Power.
When the ball was coming his way, and he seemed like it was going all right for him. He didn't want to pull his socks up the week before when they were getting
All I'll say is that's a pretty good crew. And look at the Pies' best player. It's Scott Pendlebury, still at 30 and still side bottom at 27. So I think there's a big advantage there.
Who's to say the Pies can win a flag in the next 3 years? They'll win before Essendon, of course, but
you reckon they'll win in the next 3 years?
Scott Pendlebury, 33, 34.
Absolutely no chance.
That's a pretty good list. So what's your next argument to counter that?
Well, the 3 players on that list, Zach Merritt, Darcy Parish, Andy McGrath, all 180 or below, that doesn't win you premierships. Have a look at the last 2 premiership midfields.
You're saying they're too small?
Correct. Then look at the last 2 premiership midfields. Bonson Pally, Martin are 2 players that stand out off that. Jackson McRae's 191. Josh Dunkley got it done on grand final day. If we flick over to the next page, have a look at the Essendon midfielders compared to the Collingwood midfielders. Zaharakis, Merritt, Parish, McGrath. They went out and got Devon Smith. He's 176. He's not a player that stands up in September. That's a nice midfield for Essendon. At least that gets it done March to August. This is the premiership midfield that will get it done in September. Pendlebury, DeGoey, Phillips, side bottom. These are the type of guys that are going to win you a flag.
Well, there are some good players there. I'm not going to deny Collingwood's midfield's pretty good. Tommy Phillips is going okay too, but let's face it, there's some good guys in the Essendon midfield, and I think there's some more class in the Essendon midfield too. There's some question marks on whether the Pies get the most out of their kickers in the midfield. I think that's fair to say. Taylor Adams, not the best user. Adam Shalor, not the best user. So
they'll get better. They're still young.
Oh. You reckon Jake Stringer's peaked at 24?
Is there any particular counter-argument against the Pies specifically you've got, Cal?
Well, I think the fact is you need a good trajectory to win a flag, and look at their last 4 years. Last year, 2017, they finished 13th. The 2 years before that, 12th and 12th, and then 11th in 2014. The Bombers have gone from 18th in 2016 under mitigating circumstances, and then brought themselves back up into the top 8 last year. The only way is up for them.
If we have a look at that Pies graphic, that's exactly what Richmond did, isn't it? Come from 12th to win a premiership.
I knew you'd say that, but look, I'm going to focus on the rule. You focus on the exception, Mitch, all right?
Well, the rule is that Collingwood sits in the heartland of the AFL. Essendon's out 20, 30 kilometres out of the city. They are the destination club of the AFL.
Wow, that's a cheap shot.
The destination club.
Tom Lynch wants to come to Melbourne this year. He's going to want to come and play for the Collingwood Football Club. You put him in that forward line next to Darcy Moore. Darcy Moore elevates himself. You looked at Essendon's best young players. Darcy Moore's still early 20s.
Destination Club, Essendon did just secure 3 wanted players in the trade period last year. And also, let's have a look back at some of the big names that have gone to the Pies in recent years. Apart from Treloar, who was a great get and a very good player.
Taylor Adams brings leadership.
Yeah, he's been good too. I wouldn't say Chris Mayne's been a great get, and Daniel Wells is in the VFL at the minute, so I'm not sure they've landed too many big names.
They won't be there for the next premiership tilt.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys under them. Chris Mayne's developing the youngsters for Collingwood just nicely in the VFL.
Okay.
Wow, it's a good argument. We could continue all day.
You have to pick a side.
I'm a little bit confused. I mean, you both make convincing arguments. I find the Tom Lynch one pretty interesting. The fact that you're saying that he'd rather move to a club further away from the airport.
Correct.
But we'll see what you think.
It's not a geographic argument.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
No, I didn't see that one coming either. AFL.com.au is where you need to go. Who is closer to winning a flag, the Bombers or the Pies? Have your say. Who won? And thanks for watching The Burning Question. We'll see you next time.